Welcome to Power Books on this audiobook summary of How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell. Have you ever wondered what truly separates successful individuals from everyone else? It's a question many of us ask when we observe people who seem to effortlessly achieve greatness in their personal and professional lives. The answer isn't just hard work or luck, although both can play a part. The key difference lies in how they think. Success is deeply rooted in mindset, and those who cultivate the right mental habits unlock doors to opportunities that others overlook. In this extended summary, we're going to dive deep into the mindsets that lead to success. We'll explore how the most successful people think, what strategies they employ to achieve greatness, and how you can adopt these same practices to transform your own life. Whether you're looking to grow in your career, improve your personal life, or enhance your relationships, the insights you're about to hear will provide practical, actionable tools to help you on your journey. Think of this as a roadmap to success. As we go through the key ideas from John C. Maxwell's book, you'll gain clarity on how your thoughts shape your future and how, with conscious effort, you can reshape your thinking to achieve your dreams. Let's begin. 1. The power of big picture thinking. The first and most important principle of successful thinking is big picture thinking. Successful individuals know how to see beyond the present moment. They don't just focus on immediate tasks or challenges. They are always thinking about the long-term impact of their actions. This mindset allows them to position themselves for future opportunities that may not be obvious at first glance. Big picture thinking is about seeing the forest, not just the trees. It means stepping back from the details and evaluating the broader implications of decisions. It's easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day grind, but those who think big always have their eyes on the horizon. Take, for example, Jack Welch, the legendary former CEO of General Electric. Welch was known for his ability to see beyond short-term gains. He emphasized the importance of nurturing customer relationships, even when they didn't immediately result in a sale. Why? Because he understood that happy, loyal customers would return in the future, leading to sustainable growth. He was willing to forego short-term wins to build long-term success. This approach to thinking allowed Welch to turn General Electric into a global powerhouse. Now, how can you develop big-picture thinking in your own life? One way is to start by setting long-term goals. Where do you want to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years? When you have a clear vision for your future, it becomes easier to make decisions that align with that vision. For example, if your goal is to build a successful business, you'll need to think about how your actions today, like networking, learning new skills, or building a customer base, will contribute to that goal in the long run. Another important aspect of big picture thinking is the ability to learn from others. Successful people constantly seek out new ideas and perspectives. They know that growth comes from learning, and they never stop expanding their knowledge base. Think about the most successful people you know. Chances are they are avid readers or lifelong learners. They are always looking for ways to improve themselves and stay ahead of the curve. A great example of this is Bill Gates, who is known for his insatiable curiosity and love of reading. Gates attributes much of his success to his ability to learn from others. He famously reads about 50 books a year, ranging from history and science to business and economics. By exposing himself to new ideas and perspectives, Gates is able to think more broadly and make smarter decisions. Action step. If you want to cultivate big picture thinking, start by expanding your perspective. Read books outside your usual interests. Engage in conversations with people from different industries or backgrounds. Challenge yourself to think beyond your immediate circumstances and consider how your actions today will shape your future. To embrace continuous learning, closely related to big picture thinking, is the concept of continuous learning. People who think big are often lifelong learners. They are never satisfied with their current knowledge and are always eager to learn more. This mindset is critical for success because the world is constantly changing. If you stop learning, you risk falling behind. Continuous learning doesn't just happen in formal settings like school or training programs. Successful people seek out knowledge in their everyday lives. They are curious about the world around them and actively look for opportunities to learn. Whether it's through reading, listening to podcasts, or engaging in conversations with experts, they make learning a priority. John C. Maxwell himself is a great example of this principle. Despite being a leadership expert with decades of experience, Maxwell never stops learning. He once gave a speech to 900 football coaches about leadership and teamwork strategies. Instead of simply lecturing, he made it a point to learn from the coaches as well. His enthusiasm for learning impressed the coaches, and they were eager to share their wisdom with him. This willingness to learn, even from people in different fields, is a hallmark of successful thinkers. In your own life, you can embrace continuous learning by cultivating curiosity. Make it a habit to ask questions and seek out new information. You can also set aside dedicated time for learning. For instance, you might commit to reading for 30 minutes each day or listening to an educational podcast during your commute. Continuous learning also requires humility. To truly grow, you must be willing to admit that you don't have all the answers. Some people resist learning because they feel they already know enough. But successful people understand that there is always more to learn, and they approach each new experience with an open mind. Action step. Identify one area of your life where you could benefit from more knowledge or skills. Make a plan to acquire that knowledge, whether it's through reading, taking a course, or seeking out a mentor. Remember, the goal is to keep learning every day, no matter how much you already know. 3. Cultivate creative thinking. The next principle we'll explore is creative thinking. Creativity is often seen as a talent that only artists or inventors possess, but the truth is that everyone has creative potential. Successful people know how to tap into their creativity and use it to solve problems, generate new ideas, and innovate. Creative thinking is not about reinventing the wheel. In fact, many of the best ideas are simply improvements on what already exists. For example, Henry Ford didn't invent the automobile, but he revolutionized the manufacturing process with the assembly line, making cars affordable and accessible to the average person. His creative approach to production transformed the automotive industry and changed the world. Similarly, successful people in all fields use creative thinking to find new ways to approach challenges. They don't settle for the status quo. They look for ways to improve, innovate, and stand out. One of the biggest obstacles to creative thinking is fear. Many people are afraid to think creatively because they worry about failure or being judged. But the most successful people understand that creativity requires taking risks and embracing uncertainty. They know that not every idea will be a winner, but they also know that failure is a necessary part of the creative process. For example, Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's willingness to embrace failure allowed him to make groundbreaking discoveries that changed the world. To cultivate creative thinking in your own life, start by eliminating creativity blockers. These include limiting beliefs like "I'm not a creative person" or dismissing ideas too quickly. Give yourself permission to brainstorm without judgment. You can also surround yourself with creative people. Creativity is contagious, and being around innovative thinkers will inspire you to push your own boundaries. Another way to boost creativity is to change your environment. Sometimes a new perspective can spark fresh ideas. If you're feeling stuck, try working in a different location, taking a walk, or engaging in a completely unrelated activity. Often, the best ideas come when you're not actively thinking about the problem. Action step. Set aside time each week for creative thinking. This could be brainstorming solutions to a problem, coming up with new ideas for your business, or exploring a hobby that allows you to express your creativity. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect. It's to get your creative juices flowing and allow yourself to think outside the box. 4. Harness strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is another essential quality of successful people. While it may sound complex, strategic thinking is simply about planning your life with purpose. Instead of making decisions on a whim or reacting to whatever comes their way, successful people plan ahead. They set clear goals, break them down into actionable steps, and consistently evaluate their progress. Think about it like this. If you were going on a road trip, you wouldn't just start driving without a destination in mind. You'd map out your route, plan your stops, and ensure you have everything you need for the journey. Successful people take the same approach to life. They map out their goals and create a clear plan for achieving them. John C. Maxwell offers a great example of strategic thinking. He plans his life in 40-day increments, reviewing his schedule and setting priorities for both his personal and professional life. This long-term planning allows him to stay focused and efficient, ensuring that he's always moving toward his goals. Strategic thinking is especially important when it comes to tackling big projects or complex problems. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when faced with a large task, but successful thinkers know how to break it down into manageable steps. By taking things one step at a time, they make progress without getting discouraged. In your own life, you can harness strategic thinking by creating a clear plan for your goals. Start by identifying what you want to achieve, then break it down into smaller, actionable tasks. Prioritize the most important goals and focus on the tasks that will have the biggest impact. Another important aspect of strategic thinking is resource management. Successful people know how to make the most of their time, money, and energy. They understand that not every task is equally important, and they focus on the activities that will bring them the most value. Finally, strategic thinking involves consistently evaluating your progress. Just as a road trip requires occasional course corrections, your journey towards success may require adjustments along the way. By regularly reviewing your goals and strategies, you can ensure that you're on the right path. Action step. Take some time to plan your goals for the next 40 days. Break them down into smaller tasks and prioritize the most important ones. Then, create a schedule to ensure that you're consistently making progress toward your goals. 5. Reflective thinking for growth. In a world that values action over thought, reflective thinking often gets overlooked. However, successful people understand the importance of reflection. By taking the time to reflect on their experiences, they gain valuable insights that help them make better decisions in the future. Reflective thinking is about more than just reviewing your past. It's about learning from it. For example, after every family vacation, John Maxwell would ask his children what they enjoyed the most and what they learned. This simple reflection exercise helped his children internalize their experiences and learn from them. Reflective thinking also allows you to process your emotions more effectively. When emotions run high, it's easy to make decisions you later regret. But by reflecting on past situations, you can learn to approach similar events more wisely in the future. In your own life, you can develop reflective thinking by setting aside time for regular reflection. This could involve journaling, meditating, or simply sitting in a quiet space to think. You can also review your calendar or diary to see how you're spending your time and whether your priorities align with your goals. Reflective thinking isn't just about looking back. It's about turning your reflections into action. Thinking alone won't change your life. You need to take action based on what you've learned. Action step. Start a daily or weekly reflection practice. Ask yourself questions like, what went well today? What could I have done differently? And what did I learn? Use your reflections to make better decisions moving forward. 6. Question popular thinking. Most people follow popular thinking because it feels safe. But if you want to achieve success, you need to question conventional wisdom. Throughout history, great thinkers have challenged the status quo, just like Copernicus, who proved that the Earth revolves around the sun. Popular thinking often promotes false beliefs, and it's easy to get stuck in routines that feel comfortable but aren't necessarily the best way forward. The ability to challenge these ideas is what sets successful people apart. If you want to break free from popular thinking, start questioning everything. Don't just accept something because everyone else believes it. Encourage yourself to embrace new and different ideas, even if they seem unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Surround yourself with diverse perspectives and give yourself the freedom to think differently from the crowd. For example, Steve Jobs didn't follow the popular thinking of his time. When everyone else was focused on creating powerful computers for corporations, Jobs envisioned a world where personal computers were accessible to everyday people. His willingness to challenge popular thinking transformed Apple into one of the most successful companies in the world. Action step. Identify one area of your life where you've been following the crowd. Challenge yourself to think differently and explore new ideas. Surround yourself with people who think outside the box and give yourself the freedom to question conventional wisdom. Conclusion: cultivate the habits of successful thinking. In conclusion, successful people think differently. They cultivate habits that set them apart, and it all starts with how they approach life's challenges. They think big, meaning they make decisions with the long term in mind. They embrace creativity, pushing past fear and failure to discover new solutions. They use strategic thinking to plan effectively and efficiently. They practice reflective thinking, learning from past experiences. And finally, they challenge popular thinking, daring to go against the grain when necessary. You can apply these principles to your own life. Change your thinking, and you'll change your life. The mindsets discussed here aren't just for the ultra-successful. They're tools that anyone can use to grow, achieve, and succeed. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary of How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell. If you found this summary valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, keep challenging your mind, keep growing, and keep striving for success.